Hi Michael, thanks for sending through some putting videos. I've had a really good look at that front and down the line action, and I've picked out 3 areas of interest that I feel we can work on. So the first one being at setup here, I would love the shaft angle in your forearms to align, and that's grip related. So we're going to touch on that in the videos I'm going to send to you. The upper body is a little bit too upright. I would love that to be a little bit more tilted, and I feel those two things combined result in this face rotation opening up too much on the backstroke, and then you need to try to square it up on the way through. So there's a lot of face rotation because of those 2 issues. The third one, as we look from the front on, is just the hands getting a little bit too active through the ball. So you'll see as you make your stroke here, the hands do a bit too much, so I would love to quieten them down. I've got a really good drill for that. So let me send you through some info that's going to help us work on these things in the comfort of your own home right there. Hey Pickle, so I'm going to give you the first 2 things we want to work on, which is just adjusting that shaft angle and the body position. So what we want to do just with this right hand here, I feel the left hand's okay, but if we wrap that right hand like a full swing, we're going to get that low shaft angle. So I want you to feel like the right arm and the shaft aligns, and you generally have to get the pad of that thumb a bit more on that underside. I'll send you a video of Stan Utley talking about it, but just a bit more on those knuckles there on that grip position. And once you get into that position, you can sort of feel like you can let the head drop a little bit. You can see as I take my address here, the shaft and the forearms are really well aligned. And I feel once I get that position, it's more natural for me to have a bit more tilt in my upper body, get my shoulders working a bit more downward, and that can help me with my face control. Sometimes if we're a little bit too upright, it's very easy for that face angle to go too open on the backswing. So just try to get the feel of that right hand sitting a bit more under, a bit more down the line of the shaft, get a bit more tilt in that upper body, and that's going to really help our face control on these shorter putts. It's such a crucial skill to have to try to minimize all those moving parts and keep the face under control.
My grip is that I put this lifeline on that knuckle, so it levels my forearms. Everybody wants to put the lifeline up on their thumb like their swing grip. This was taught to me by Tom Blair in St. Louis and Mr. Lanning. So when I drop this down, I get the shaft, my hand, my wrist, and my forearm all in the same plane. I don't have two or three planes going with my hand and my wrist. So that lets the dead weight keep it on what I call on plane.
Direction I want to touch on once we've got that set up and the shaft angle correct is just the movement of those hands. It generally tells me that the arms and the hands are doing a lot when I see that much movement, and the upper body is not doing a hell of a lot. So the little drill I want to do, I call it the prayer drill. So instead of gripping the club normally, we're going to grip it as if we're praying to the golf gods that we can hole a putt. What this does, it just relieves all the tension out of the handle and just gets you moving the club correctly. Gets those shoulders going. When you grip it like you were before, it was just very active. So the prayer drill is a beauty for you, just to roll a few, just to get that sensation of the tempo and the shoulders moving a bit more. So it's probably the first thing I'd get you to do on the putting green. Just get to there on game day or start your practice routine. Just do a few prayer putts, pray to the golf gods, and then from there we can go into our normal setup positions and just try to implement those quiet hands in the stroke.